All right, we're live.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to the show.
How y'all doing?
Not bad. I screwed up on my windows here.
Oh no.
I can't see the dock anymore. Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
I'm just drinking water. I haven't done shit at all this week. Not a single fucking thing.
Pretty boring week.
Just a chill week.
A pretty
Good.
boring week. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
completely boring. Ah, my God. So, for those who don't follow my YouTube and Twitch stuff, I came out as a transgender woman. So, I came out, I revealed, I go by Claire, she, her, but I also revealed I will still respond to John, he, him, no problem, and they, them as well. So,
okay.
I did that in front of a lot of fucking people. Holy shit,
for
that
you.
was so many people. Ah.
Honestly, just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I'm talking out of my ass. What do I know? So
You rip the Band-Aid off of revealing you've spent 2
After
years
2 years,
thriving
yeah.
on HRT. Yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
say that's a slow rip.
That's a very slow rip. That was a lot of pain on that 2-year rip.
For sure. For
I'm
sure.
assuming it
God.
feels better now.
It does feel better now. I had this moment where I was like, I'm so scared of what like the darker side of the internet's gonna feel.
Yeah.
And I got some heat. And I got some shit because I
Yeah, of
do back
course.
to that.
Ow.
But
okay.
like the vast majority has been positive. It's been like overwhelmingly positive, which has been nice.
That's good.
So yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
Don't come to America.
Yeah, no, I've
Yeah.
already been upfront about that. I'm not doing that anytime soon.
don't do that anytime soon. But no,
If I'm
absolutely.
doing that, I hope they don't
Congratulations.
check my socials.
That's the thing that they do. They do that stuff now. Don't do that.
Reese just went to the States just then because she's in Seattle for like a week, and they didn't check anything. So
Great. Wow.
I think it just depends. It really does just depend. But yeah, I've heard the horror stories, and I'm just like, I don't think I should go to this country anytime soon. Or if I do, I am good getting a one and done flight, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
No layovers, no stops.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. Cool. I'm glad it's been a mostly positive experience for you.
Yeah, it's been mostly good. I will say, letting go of 2 years of stress of hiding that shit was so insane that I got sick for like 4 days.
Yo, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
literally
afterwards,
the
like when
next
the stress was gone, you got sick?
Yeah, like so.
That
Well,
sucks.
first off, I screwed up because I stayed up till like 9 a.m. reading comments because like my
Oh.
socials were destroyed. It was completely like I couldn't use it.
Yeah.
I had to like catch up on everything, and then on Sunday I couldn't finish. Like my stomach shrank in half. I couldn't eat as much food as I normally did, and then it persisted on Monday where I got a stomach ache and got sick and couldn't do anything and just ended up laying up on the couch. Tuesday was okay enough
Wasn't a
to
good
be.
idea.
Yeah, no, I should have just kept it hidden for another year or two. See how far I could have got.
Yeah.
It seems like things got a little bit worse physically, at least.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
my body's like, all right, well now here's the negative effects coming to you now.
Your body almost needed the stress now. It was like
Yeah.
feeding off.
It got used to it. Yeah.
I'm a streamer. I'm used to running on stress.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of like an addict, and you were going through like a withdrawal.
No,
Yeah. From the
dude,
stress.
no.
Yeah.
I
the-
don't
and your
need
body-
stress withdrawal of all fucking things in my life.
I'm
I
just-
need a fucking massage.
I'm just
going to
too
a
relaxed.
spa.
I'm gonna throw up.
Right.
Yeah. I'm so comfortable.
exactly.
Life's so peaceful. I think I just need to vomit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just imagining you like sitting on the couch bored, like I need to argue with somebody.
Yeah. Well, there'll be no shortage of that anywhere. Luckily. Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. The impossible pivot, not trying to discount it, but I did want to talk about some TV from this last week.
Yeah. We talked a
I
little
give
bit before
permission.
the show.
You're okay to talk about TV.
Appreciate it, because we've been feasting. I was talking a bit with Paul beforehand, but we wanted to hold off this last week. Andor's back.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, the best thing with Star Wars' name on it. I don't care about the rest. And the rehearsal is back.
Yep.
So excited about that. I have
Yep.
no idea what's going on. And then most importantly, and we're not going to get into spoilers, is episode 2 of season 2 of Last of Us happened on the weekend. And they did the thing, and I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I can finally talk about it that
Yeah.
people didn't know what was going to happen.
They went golfing. Thank God. Peaceful.
Dude.
I kept seeing people tweet about like 5 irons. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, they went
Because they
golfing.
didn't even
No-
mention it was
no-
The Last of Us.
They just had a nice time, you know, At the,
I'm sure
at the
they-
range.
So is season 2 based off the first game or the second game?
Second.
Or is it an in between? Okay.
The second.
The entire first game was done in the first season.
Oh wow.
The
Yeah.
second game will be 3 seasons. So I was convinced because there's a moment that's like 90 minutes into the second game that is huge. It is massive, and I was convinced that was going to be the end of season 2 if they were going to be stretching it out. But no, they do it in the second episode.
Yeah.
Good on them. They didn't just kind of hold off for a while and kind of fill it with new side stories or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I'm so curious now what this rest of this season will be.
Yeah. There is a lot of
Do you recommend watching it
stuff.
as someone who wasn't super into the games?
Probably not, I guess, because the games are very like cinematic in themselves.
Yeah.
So if like
I just didn't enjoy playing the game.
Oh, then
the
yes.
story
Then yeah.
itself seemed fine.
Then yes, you should.
you should. And they're pretty short seasons. Like I know season 2 is only going to be 7. I want to say the first season was somewhere around that as well. But yeah, start with the first season for the main reason, like you get to see Calgary destroyed, which we rarely ever get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, being in Calgary where it gets hit -40, we never see it destroyed.
There is a part where
You
like
never-
it's the Sate area with like boarded up. It's cool. Like it's actually really cool. The 4th Avenue flyover is.
I feel like if I watch the show, I'm gonna be like that Leonardo DiCaprio gif where he's just like, yeah.
Totally. Yep.
No, that was me, and I watched it again when my mom came to visit. I was like, it's set in Calgary, and she knew even more of the locations that I did. She's like, oh yeah,
Oh,
that's that
wow.
mall and stuff like that.
It's cool.
She obviously knows Calgary better than I do at this point. So
Actually, on that note too, this last episode, Aaron pointed at the girl in the wheelchair that's like on the radio calling for like some people because of stuff going on or whatever. She's like, I worked with that girl at Rexall. Or
Oh,
the
wow.
Rexall
because I know they
place.
moved production out of Calgary. It's not Calgary this season.
No, but
It's
she
over
was like
in
she always talked back then about like wanting to be an actress, so that's kind of cool that she is in
She
something.
succeeded. Congrats to
Yeah.
her.
at least got 2 minutes of one episode.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so like for people listening, it's an extra role. It's not like a main role by any means, but
Still though, like in
Still.
an HBO show, that's still something. That's a nice feather to put in your cap.
totally.
and for all we know, maybe she's gonna get a bigger role. I don't like it could be a new character or something. I don't know. I don't think that character was in the game.
And my stupid ass, you know what my first question was? Is she in a wheelchair in real life? And she's like, yeah, she is.
That's
like,
yeah.
there you
That's not a great question.
well, I needed to
That's
know
not a
if
very
they
good
like made
question.
that a show thing or like what's going on. Is like, no, she is.
I would assume at this point most shows would probably get a disabled actor, because there's got to be plenty of those. It wouldn't be a great look to take a role away from
somebody
that.
disabled. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if I had to guess, that would
Now
be
that
something.
hasn't stopped a lot of movies and shows, but
Sure.
it should.
True.
Yeah.
But Paul, did you watch the rehearsal?
I have not yet. No.
This season is about Nathan taking on. He's noticed there's been it's weirdly topical because this would have been filmed almost a year ago. He's
Uh-oh.
noticed there's been a lot of like airplane crashes.
Oh, no.
Over the years.
Oh come
Oh
on.
no.
And so he's like, I've been studying thousands of airplane crashes, and I noticed that it kind of comes down to not the pilot, but the second pilot, the first mate or whatever they're
co-pilot.
called.
Mhm.
Co-pilot. I don't think they say specifically co-pilot, but anyways, yeah, the co-pilot. He says like they're afraid of speaking up when the pilot is doing something that they know is incorrect. And he's
Mm.
like, well, and he's talking to someone who used to work on like the FFA or the FAA and stuff, and he's like, well, I have experience creating elaborate role play scenarios, and I have some money I can put towards this.
Yeah.
So he's trying to fix airline crashes.
Oh man.
By making them rehearse these scenarios. So good. Yes,
Oh, man.
it's back.
Oh my
So great.
God, oh my
I love
God.
Nathan Fielder so much. God.
So I think you specifically, Paul, might get like a huge kick out of it, just kind of being a little bit on that side of the fence.
Just yesterday, me and a coworker spent like an hour talking about how the plane crashes. Like it's just some weird shit about the plane crashes that I don't want to bum people out, so I'm not going to talk about it here. But yeah, no, that's great. God, I need to see this now.
You do, absolutely. So, and then yes, I mentioned Andor. They're dropping them 3 episodes a week, which is kind of nuts to keep up with.
Yeah,
and I'm so excited that that's back.
that's
Wait, how
great.
big's
Yeah.
the season if they're doing 3 a week?
it's either going to be 9 or 12 because in season 1 they did 3-episode arcs for each of their arcs, and
okay.
there was 3 of those, so I'm going to guess 9 again.
Yeah.
But they're only doing 2 seasons. This is the end of it, and from what I understand, people who had screeners of the whole season, like, it's just as good. They knocked it out of the park again, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Be good.
Yeah. Let's do a show about video games, though. Top Down Perspective, April 24th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm Claire Wheeler.
And
nice
we are
to say that.
finally... Yeah, absolutely. We're finally going to talk about the game that has been my game of the week for the last few weeks, and I have not been able to talk about it.
How long was the NDA on this one?
Like 3 weeks, I think.
Jesus.
I got it 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember exactly, but
think
it's
it's
definitely
been
been at
3.
least 2 episodes.
Yeah,
3?
it's been
Okay.
2.
Which is good. Like, this is an RPG. It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's an RPG. The more time we can get with it ahead of time, the better. It's an RPG. This has become one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
Yeah.
I've been hearing people praise this nonstop.
I could see why.
It's wild.
It's ridiculous. All I want you've played a little bit. I'm curious where you got to, what you're feeling. And
I
then
played the
I'll
prologue. So like the story stuff, it is what it is, and I know that's going to be great. I'm not worried about that. I wanted to try that combat out. That combat is very solid, and I can't wait for more shit to like build onto the basics that I've tried.
So the
already.
best way I can describe the combat for someone who hasn't played it, like in layman's terms, it is a turn-based RPG with real-time elements in there, and then to the only thing that I can say it's like would be the Mario and Luigi games or the Paper Mario games where during attacks or defending, you have to sometimes press A or something at a certain time.
It reminded me a lot of Legend of Dragoon, and I don't know if either of you played that. But
I
like,
haven't played that.
Okay, so there's like a lot of like specific timing on your attacks to get criticals and get specials. There is like some sort of defense mechanic you can do with timing as well.
Yeah.
So it feels like it looked to me from just the trailers I saw, just a fusion of Mario and Luigi and Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah.
So it's like that, but I would say even more so. And again, I don't have the Legend of Dragoon experience, but I think there's even more to it because there's almost even like a Souls-like element to the dodging, because you have both a dodge and a parry. And I will say, if you're typically someone who does not like to parry, I'm in that camp. You learn to parry, like just practice.
It's super powerful in this.
Because not only are you avoiding the damage, which the dodge does, but the counter attacks that you can pull off do so much damage that if you are not learning to parry, you're just slowing yourself down, and it's not worth it. But the reason I liken it to a Souls game is every enemy and then every attack they have follows a very specific pattern that you need to try and memorize so that you're parrying or hitting the dodge button with the right rhythm. Because if you don't parry every single attack in one combo, you don't get the counter attack on.
Yeah. They're kind of tight too.
So it can be stuff like this attack that the enemy's going to do, it's going to hit you 3 times, but that third one, they're going to pause for a second before they do that third attack. So you need to kind of learn these, especially with the bosses. There was one side enemy I fought that would attack me over 20 times in one combo.
What the
before it was
heck?
finished. That was its kind of thing. Its whole thing was like every turn it's going to do it one extra attack, and it was annoying as hell. It was just this rock that would just bounce on my characters. Every turn it would do one more bounce. It was stupid. But
that's so funny.
That's another thing. There's like a surprising amount of humor in this game. The plot is awesome. Like they go some places that I was absolutely not expecting. And they do it like there are 2 moments in the story where I was like, I can't believe they just made this twist. Like I have no idea what's about to happen next. Like they go places and then it's like surprisingly funny, the writing, which you don't often get in a lot of like there's a ton of JRPG in this. It might as well be a JRPG just made by a French studio. It's surprisingly funny because I feel like most JRPGs, they're like either just super goofy at times, mostly serious 80% of the times, and then there's like 10% of horny in there for some reason.
It sounds like you're just describing the Tales of series. That's basically what the Tales of games are like. So,
well, I'd even say the Final Fantasies like that too. Like I just did Rebirth. I would say that's 80% serious, 10% silly, and then 10% horny. This is like, I don't think there's not anything horny in this one, but it's like surprisingly funny. There are some jokes that actually made me laugh, which was surprising. Like, I think the writing is really well done. The voice cast is insane. They got Charlie Cox on the main character.
Wait, what?
Ben Starr comes in about halfway through the game. His character's awesome. And then oh crap, I'm blanking on his name. Smeagol and/or
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis is like one of the main villains throughout the whole game as well. Like the voice cast is crazy. That's just the English voice cast. You can also play with a French voice cast, which I didn't do because the star power on the English side was just awesome, and I think the performances are fantastic. Paul, you've probably seen some of the performances. I mean, Gustav is Charlie Cox there.
Yeah, no, I mean all of the beginning has been very, very good so far. There's a lot of talking in the beginning, so
you've done just the prologue, so you haven't even gotten to like the continent yet.
I'm on the continent now. That's where I stopped.
So so you guys got to the continent and then things got bad?
The things happened, yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like you don't expect that everywhere, and the game's just like, by the way, fuck you.
That one dude in particular, man.
So you got to a part, it gets pretty dark. It gets darker for a bit, and then kind of the game like really starts when you start getting party members and stuff. But it's like, this is nuts what's happening right here.
Yeah.
It also looks gorgeous.
It looks very good.
So good. It reminds me a lot of Immortals of Avium from last year, where it was a lot of like, it's kind of set in the past, but like a future version of like mythology-ish, a lot of magic instead of tech, and then also everything's just really shiny.
Yeah.
That's a stylistic thing. And then I can't talk about this game without shouting out the music.
The music
so
is
good.
fucking incredible. Holy shit.
And they keep changing it. There are so many great theme songs throughout this whole thing. Different enemies will get different types of themes. Tons of the music has like vocals that will come in. Like there are like rock versions of songs that will kick up when you're about to, like it is. They said like one of their inspirations was the Persona series, and you can absolutely see that here.
Yeah.
It is. I was constantly shocked throughout the entire time. I finished it. I put 30 hours into it to finish it, which was pretty much obviously all the story stuff. And then so it's a JRPG. You get the ability to fly at some point, right?
Of course.
Up until the flight part, I did pretty much everything I could find off the beaten path that didn't have like a big danger sign when I came across a dungeon. Once I got the flight and opened up like the whole world, I did everything that my level allowed me to. If something still said danger, that's a pretty good indicator that you don't even attempt it. Like they're just going to be doing so much damage, you're not ready. So once I kind of did everything I could do that and didn't feel like grinding to get those other areas, I went and finished it up. So that was about 30 hours. When they sent the code, they said the game is about 30 with an additional 30 in there. So
okay,
with an additional 30?
In terms of side stuff.
For the side stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, fair.
And like what you might consider end game or something, I guess.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, another person that's seen it, they're going a lot slower than me. They got to kind of the halfway point at 20 hours, which is pretty slow. But eventually, I think I was moving pretty fast because I just got like a team strategy and like a build for each of my characters that was nuts. Like a lot of the way you build your character is on the Pico system. And I don't know if you've seen any of these yet, Paul.
They've only talked about it, but I haven't used it, no.
So the Picos are basically, you can equip 3 Picos, and then...
Are they materia? Basically?
A little bit. So they'll give you a stat boost, but they'll also give you an ability. And it could be stuff like, if you perform a perfect dodge, you'll get an additional action point. And the action points are what you spend to do your skills or stuff.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about them is, once you've used a Picos 4 times, it becomes unlocked for everybody, and then anyone can spend points to equip it passively. So they won't get the stat boost, but they'll get the ability from it.
Interesting.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you get and there's a bunch of collectibles throughout the world where you can keep increasing how many of those you can equip. So like by the end of the game, my characters had like 150 points each, and some of my Picos were giving me an additional 7,000 HP.
Yeah.
In addition to all the abilities. I was getting abilities that were like, every time my character attacks, they're going to do it a second time. Every time I can get an ability point, I'm going to get 2. Just like nonsense stuff like that. Anytime that I cast like a burn on somebody, it's going to double the amount of burn. Like you get really crazy combos. And it also allows you to make like builds for your characters. Like Gustav became my shooter, because one of the things you can do is not only can you attack, you can use items, you can use skills. You can also hit the left trigger, and a reticle will literally pop up, and you can aim at enemies to find their like weak spots and shoot them. So I was putting abilities on Gustav where it's like anytime I shoot somebody, there's a high chance it's going to light them on fire. There's a high chance it's going to like make them vulnerable. There's a high chance I'm going to like break them, and all these extra bonuses. It's going to guarantee that my next attack with Gustav is going to be 200% damage. Like I would just put and so you can create builds for each of your characters, it's super cool. My one complaint, I guess I have two complaints, and they're pretty minor. We got spoiled with Metaphor being able to restart battles.
So this is what I asked you offline, is like, do you know if this is in here or whatever? Because this seems like the perfect game for it. You learn the mechanics of the creature or whatever, learn the timings. It's like, okay, got the timings, let's restart this fucker and do this perfectly.
Yeah. And luckily the game auto saves a lot. For any boss, there's going to be a checkpoint, so it's not the end of the world if you do die. But yes, restart. I do wish for that exact reason. And then the other thing I didn't like is there's a total of 6 party members. You can have 3 active at a time.
Sure.
The ones who are not active, they do still get the majority of the experience, but a smaller amount of it.
That's pretty standard. Yeah.
So, and the Pico system where I said you can put points in so that you can get more of them, you have to do that on a per character basis. So those 2 points alone kind of force you to have to pick your primary 3 and then never swap them, because you're just putting yourself on the wrong foot basically with a weaker person that you did not spend a limited resource on, that's just a bummer because you feel kind of restrained. Luckily I kind of got my core 3 pretty early. And then I just kind of stuck with them. But then there's annoying things like side quests where it's like, hey, you have to do a one-on-one fight with this character you never used, and it's like, crap. Well, for story reasons,
that's pretty standard for a lot of JRPGs. Like Final Fantasy did that all the time.
It's a bummer though. Like I don't think Rebirth had that. I thought everyone kind of like leveled up.
7 does definitely do that, where they have like you have to use this character to do like a specific thing. Because I'm thinking straight up, like, there's a bunch of Yuffie stuff I remember hating when I played through 7.
Okay. I love Yuffie, but okay. Anyway,
I didn't like original 7 Yuffie, so...
I see. Okay, well, I'm talking about the remaster stuff, the remake stuff, so... Anyway, I can't say enough good things about this. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. Paul, I'm so excited for you to, like...
I'm mad that we're doing this podcast, frankly, because I want to play it.
Jesus, okay.
It was very... Dude, it's very good.
I'm trying to track in a physical copy. That thing is sold out everywhere. Like apparently it's just doing good. Yeah. This is their first game, right? I heard people say
Sandfall Interactive first game. I feel bad for them that Oblivion Shadow dropped this week, because I'm sure that took a lot of attention off of Claire.
Yeah.
Yep. But well, I mean, what can you do? But I'm glad it's getting such positive reviews. And that was also the other thing, is like I didn't know how a lot of other people I knew some reviewers what they were thinking, but I was like, man, I'm like adoring this game. I hope the reviews are good and I don't just sound like a weirdo when this goes live. But then the review scores came out and I was like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Knew it. Just trying to tell you people.
Yeah. The minute you like touch that combat, you're just like, oh, this is actually special. This is very good.
And and it keeps building.
Yeah, it's just going to get better.
There were mechanics in the combat that I got in the second half of the game. Like,
sure, I believe it. Yeah,
it's not just dodging and parrying. There's other ones you get, and there's it's very cool. It's one of the coolest like first games from a studio I've seen in a while, just with how ambitious it is as well. So I really hope this has some legs for sure. But yeah, Game Pass this year has been pretty incredible, and in like 2 weeks we're getting, or I guess 3 weeks at this point, we're getting Doom. Like, this year, like Xbox is kind of knocking it out of the park for Game Pass.
I would hope so, because they kind of had like a quiet year last year. I don't remember anything major from Xbox last year that really blew up.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, Game Pass is definitely killing it. Because like I've talked about this before. If there's a lull, I'll just cancel my Game Pass for like a month or whatever until something comes out. I haven't yet, and I've been playing something on it basically every month. So they're killing it.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Definitely go play it. The other game I want to talk on is Lost Records Part 2 came out.
I have to know. Is this worth at all my time?
Talked about Part 1 back in February. The second part came out. I can definitively say that this game is not worth playing.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
The Part 2 is shorter. It might have also just been shorter because I was kind of done with it, so I was just like mainlining stuff. It is still slow. It's faster than the second one because I guess they kind of need to like start addressing some stuff, but some of the choices I found were just confusing. I didn't really enjoy the writing. Pretty much everything you think is going to happen does, and then they just don't explain other stuff. Like, it just kind of comes down to like, this is an odd game. I will say the character interactions are fantastic. The way they write those girls interacting with each other, super realistic, totally makes sense. The overarching plot though is just like not interesting, and they don't really do much to make it interesting. And then the events that happen are just like, what? This is just silly at this point. And even like the decision making, I was picking stuff normally I wouldn't, because I was literally like, hey, I just need to see something get fucked up at this point because nothing's really happening here. And I know this isn't like the good guy move that I would normally do, but like I need to bring some drama into this because this is slow.
Man, if you're doing that, I know it's bad. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I do not think it is worth it, which is a bummer because I also don't think that last Life is Strange game ended on a good note at all. So in terms of like, narrative-based adventure game stuff, it's been a little dry.
What was the last really outstanding one for you? Because that Dino High one you were lukewarm on as well, if I remember.
Yeah, I think I liked that one a bit more than these ones, but yeah, that's not amazing. I remember liking As Dusk Falls quite a bit. That was a couple years back, though.
Okay, so a couple years back was the last time that you were really kind of impressed
I'd
with
have
one.
to kind of go back and look at what came out and stuff, but I know that one jumps out. So, yeah.
Bummer.
Okay, that's all I've been playing. Claire, what about you?
All right, so I needed to distract myself before I managed to build up the courage to get through coming out. So I played a lot of Mortal Kombat, like a lot.
I killed a lot of people, basically.
I killed a lot of people. I really did.
Sure.
So I played through Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1. I did this. I did both story modes of both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which one do you like more?
I'm torn actually. The single player stuff is more fleshed out in one, but it doesn't have a crypt, which is weird. And it's definitely more monetized and kind of gross in that sense.
I was gonna ask how you felt about that, because when I was looking at it, I was like, ugh, this feels bad.
So there's 4 currencies in the game. There's gold coins, and the gold coins you use to unlock things in a random gacha mechanic. So you'll get items of various rarity. You'll get either skins, colors for the characters, equipment for the characters, or like banners, voice packs, whatever. You'll get like a mass variety of things. Then there are the seasonal tokens, where every month or 2 months, it looks like, they run a seasonal event. And that currency you can build up and buy special seasonal versions. Because right now it's season of the Cryomancer. So everything is very like ice themed. So you can buy like a bunch of specific ones like that. There's extra brutalities you can get for your characters, etc. But they are all expensive, so you need a lot. Like basically, I don't know how many hours I clocked in the game, but I did the entirety of the or just about the entirety of the actual event, the invasion they set up for it, and I probably only have only one character's full stuff unlocked, and then I went out of my way to get some of the other like brutalities, so I probably only unlocked like 4 or 5 sets of everything out of 35 characters.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, so, like, they want you to grind a lot.
Yeah.
What's your main?
Johnny Cage.
That's not surprising. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I didn't realize had my actual name. I did not realize Johnny Cage's name was actually John Carlton. So, which that was... That, apparently it's been that since the first game, and I just did not know that. But they explicitly say it in the story mode for 1, so...
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. The third currency is specifically for invasion mode, where it's like it's a gold coins, or like different type of gold coin, where you can buy items in invasion mode because you get to customize your character. You get like stats you can increase. You can give them resistances. You can give them equipable medallions that will give them special abilities. You can equip relics that will give them extra move sets and stuff like that, and like both positives and negatives. Like, you can give them super armor. You can give them like a full super meter to start, etc. And and that has like a whole like free roam mode. They have you go through these stages where all these various challenges they want you to do. And they'll range anywhere from like just kill like this reskin of a character, kill this version of Johnny Cage that also has Sub-Zero's powers, do this test your might challenge, play literally Brick Breaker with a giant bomb, but don't let it stop moving or you'll explode. Like all these like silly challenges. They can tell they had some fun doing it, but some of the missions are just kind of bland because some of the bosses have just the ability to just insta kill you unless you figure out what you have to do to stop it. Sub-Zero, the actual Cryomancer Sub-Zero, the actual big boss of this current season, when he has 3 fucking health bars, because of course he does. And on the 3rd health bar, he does this slow moving hammer attack. And if you are standing on the ground anywhere, you just explode and die instantly. So you have to time your jumps. But if you jump too early or too late, you die still. So it's I'm mixed on it at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the fourth currency is the actual pay-to-win currency. You can get them from just doing like fighter ranks, fighter masteries for your characters.
But it's easier to just put in your credit card.
Bing, bang, boom, you got it.
Yeah.
Plus, there's also like I think there's like starter bundles you can get for like $6 that give you like 1,000 of them and a skin or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, they have an exclusive shop where there's some exclusive things in there, some skins you can't get anywhere else. Most of the other skins you can get, and you do not need to spend that currency.
Okay.
But what I realize, and this is the thing that both frustrates me and is what I'm going to be spending any of that currency on if I get more, every normal character has 35 ranks for their fighter mastery, and every guest character has 20.
Okay.
You can spend the currency to max them out immediately and unlock everything for that character.
Oh, okay.
So to put it in perspective, I played through both story modes, an entire invasion season, a bunch of towers, and a bunch of I played a fair amount. I maxed out Johnny Cage's and not even half of Liu Kang's.
Okay, so they really monetized it like aggressively.
It's
if you want
very grindy to unlock everything. And you know what the worst fucking part is? They tied the second fatality for every character to this fighter master.
Oh, fuck off. That's bullshit.
I'm wondering, can you get the currency faster with like online fights or anything maybe? Are they just trying
I
to
don't know, because so they give you like daily and weekly quests, but those are for the seasonal currencies and for the gold currency to unlock just things from the actual like gacha mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to remember what level Liu Kang was to get his second one. I think it was level 14, which took a while to reach. And that was someone that I was actively playing when I wasn't playing as Johnny. So
man,
it's very grindy. I can see why people were very turned off by it. But if you ignore the grindiness, like it has probably the most single player content in a long time out of any of the Mortal Kombats.
Okay.
So for that, I kind of think I like it more than 11, but 11's roster appeals to me more. Because 11 had a lot of my favorite guest characters. It had Terminator, it had RoboCop, it had Rambo, it had Leatherface. I think that might have been 10. I mean, yeah, like it had like a bunch of characters. I'm just like, I can't believe you're in a game. This is great.
Yeah.
Now the ones this in Mortal Kombat 1 have been really good too. They have fucking Ghostface from Scream, Conan the Barbarian, Omni-Man from Invincible, Homelander from The Boys, T-1000 from Terminator 2, and like there's
good
like
lineup.
some genuinely fun, good characters in there, and they're fun to play. But man, like you sit down and you grind out your character, and then like that's like half the thing you'll end up doing with it. And then there's like some really weird omissions from the roster because they rebooted. One is a reboot again,
right?
But it's a reboot that directly plays off of 11. 11's story sets up 1, so it actually makes sense storyline wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like a bunch of characters are just missing or they become cameo characters. You can't play as Sonya, you can't play as Jax. Cyrax and Sector were actually like DLC characters. So those got added when the second story got added in. Like there were some odds omissions. Kano's not playable. They're all just cameos that will fly in and do moves for you, and that's it. But yeah, like I like the mechanic they put in, the tag mechanic where you can pick a cameo who will just jump in and do a couple preset moves depending on what your input is, and they'll help you chain combos together really well and stuff like that, or give you boosts and etc. I enjoy both. I might enjoy 11 a little bit more, but I've been enjoying my time with 1 when I'm not just stuck in grind mode.
Okay.
Because there's a disgusting amount of costumes and colors for everyone. Like, it's insane.
Are you interested at all in City of the Wolves?
I wanted to get it. I love the beta. It was fantastic.
Okay.
But I was on the fence because of the Saudi Prince's like additions to the roster. Because I was just like,
okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Isn't Cristiano Ronaldo one of the fighters?
Yeah. Ronaldo is one of the fighters. Yeah.
Mm.
Apparently, like he added 2 guys. He added Ronaldo, which is a soccer player for those who don't know, and some DJ whose name I don't know. But apparently, the DJ is actually like socializing with fighting game dudes, and apparently they're saying like he's actually kind of chill. So like they've come around on him, but the soccer player is a suspected rapist or something of that sort. So people have been feeling gross about it.
Okay.
And I was holding off on it. I ended up caving, which I'm a little ashamed of, but I went to the game store today and they had 1 copy of the collector's edition, and I was like, I Mark of the Wolves is a big thing for me. I have to pick it up, so I caved.
Dude, it's a crazy good fighting game. Like, it
is a really good fighting game. It's so good.
I don't know this one necessarily. I just mean the series. So, like, yeah, that's why I was asking.
What I played of City of the Wolves when they did the betas was great. I had a fantastic time. Man,
okay. I kind of want to try it, but I'd have to buy it because I don't think it's on anything.
They gotta have a demo. Well, maybe they probably didn't have a demo because they had those betas. I don't know.
I could just buy it on Steam, and then if I don't like it, like refunded it.
Yeah, that's true. I enjoyed it a ton. Like as someone who played a lot of Mark of the Wolves, like as soon as I picked up Janet, it felt the same. Like it felt real solid.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I might try it. It looks so cool. So.
Yeah, so I played through a lot of fighting games, a lot of Mortal Kombat, and then on stream, this month we've been doing 2 games for game clearing. We just finished up doing Copy Kitty,
which I don't know what this is.
Not sure how to explain this one. This is like a Mega Man type game where you collect power-ups from enemies and you can combine them together to make different effects, and they go like big. It's very colorful, very flashing light warning. But like the moves can like fill up entire screens, and you're just kind of fighting bosses and like fighting all these random monsters and stuff. It's actually like
cool
super
looking.
enjoyable. Yeah, it's real good. There's 2 characters you play as. One plays basically like Mega Man. The other floats around and you move like a Windows screen around to do the attacking. I wasn't as into him, but the main character's good. They have a normal story mode, and then you have a hard mode, which apparently changes the story and the levels. We only did the normal runs of both. But I had a good time with that one, and now we're starting on the legendary Starfy.
This is the DS one?
This is the DS one, yeah. So this is the 5th game in the series, apparently, which is the only one we got.
That's the one I have played. Extremely easy. It's like Kirby, like a little kid.
I have noticed that, yeah. We're not too far in. We only got maybe an hour in. But super chill vibes, just nice and chill. I think it's like 9 hours long if you're just beating the game, and if you're like completing it, it's like 18 or something like that. So it's like double the length to get everything.
I just remember thinking like, Kirby's pretty easy as well, and this is somehow easier.
Kirby does have its moments where it gets difficult. They've been making like random parts of Kirby games difficult for years now. But yeah, Starfy, I'm just like, man, I don't think I'm gonna have any challenge. I might, if I have to redo something, it's probably because I goofed. So
yeah,
but it's been enjoyable. It's like just been like super chill vibes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's basically all I've been playing.
This Copy Kitty looks like crazy.
You might actually enjoy Copy Kitty. I would say give it a try, Paul. Like it's usually on sale. It's pretty cheap.
There is a demo for it.
Came into my chat and hung out.
It's $5.
Super nice.
Yeah, I'm buying it. Like $5. Who gives a shit?
I think you'll like it. Try playing as Boki for a couple.
Oh no, I've been influenced. Oh no.
I did it, baby. Transition didn't mean shit. I still can do my job well.
Still got it, baby.
Still got it, baby.
No, this looks crazy though. Yeah, I want to try
it was a good time. Like I said, the big flashing light warning, but like I think it's because you like Mega Man stuff. I think you would gel with it.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
All right, Paul, what have you been playing?
I want to give a shout out to Crime Scene Cleaner. That came out on Game Pass recently, and I played the demo for it. I liked the demo, but on Game Pass, I played it again. And that thing is cool as hell because there is a story mode and a through line going through that thing, and that just makes it better for me. So
Like it's like a serial killer or something, maybe.
So this is
No.
not Viscera cleanup detail. This is a different one, right?
Same idea though. You're cleaning up crime scenes. So basically, you are an ex-janitor whose wife or daughter or something is very sick, and to pay the bills, you have taken these jobs cleaning up crime scenes after like people have been murdered or whatever. And like in the second act or second chapter, you basically get brought on by the mob, by like a mob boss to do a job. And it's obviously going to go somewhere from there because you have like a house that you go to that like they pad out. So obviously at some point there's probably going to be something that happens at your house, because why would they design a whole level that you can walk around just to go to bed to change the day? You can take different jobs and stuff. It's so cool. There's a perk system.
Immersion, maybe.
Immersion, exactly. You do have a dog that you can like play with and pet when you get home. So
Good.
that's
Absolutely.
good.
They're gonna pull a John Wick by the sounds of it.
Well, that
Don't.
I'm worried, actually. That was my first thought, because why else would you put in a dog that you can love, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a perk system, so like you can choose ways to clean better with your equipment or make the equipment last longer before you have to like change stuff out or whatever. It's cool. It's just like it's the same type of thing you get from Power Wash Simulator, but with an actual like story going through the gameplay, and it's super satisfying. So that thing is like super cool, and people should check that out on Game Pass if you have it, or buy it, because at this point I might just buy it. I don't want to make the same problem or the same mistake I made with Power Wash Simulator, where I have it on Game Pass and now all my DLC is also on Game Pass. So if that ever goes off of Game Pass, I'm going to have to purchase that thing on the Windows Store, and that makes me cringe. I don't want to think about that. So hopefully we never get to that point.
At least it'll be a little, because you always get a discount.
It'll
as
be
a Game
cheaper.
Pass subscriber, so it'll be like, but it's like only 10%, but you know.
Yeah.
And
I
I
keep-
keep something.
And I
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
forgetting that Wallace and Gromit thing is on Power Wash Simulator, and I haven't played it yet. It's been out for a while now, but I got to go back and do that at some point. Yeah. So yeah, Crime Scene Cleaner. Check that out. The other thing, these poor guys. There's a Silent Hill-inspired horror game by an indie dev called Post Trauma. I've been waiting for it since 2021. It's been delayed. They've changed the engine. It was supposed to come out about a month ago, and it got pushed back to the day that Oblivion dropped. So that dude is probably just... Yeah, I feel so bad for that team and that dude, but anyways, I was excited, and I've been waiting for about 5 years for this thing, so I played it. And if you're into like survival horror stuff, especially like Silent Hill vibes, where it's more about atmosphere and creepy shit going on and weird stuff rather than like combat sort of thing, it's probably worth checking out. It is a little lackluster in some of its gameplay mechanic stuff, aka the combat kind of blows, but thankfully there's not a whole lot of it. Voice acting and stuff is pretty good. The story is weird. Music's good. It's all about that atmosphere though, and also it's like $15 Canadian, so it's for me it's the right price. It was about 5 hours to play through, not too bad. I just feel bad for that dude releasing it finally, and it happened to be on the day that nobody gave a shit about anything except for Oblivion on the internet.
Yep.
Oh well. Yeah, it is what it is. That's all I've been doing though.
Well, let's talk about some news. I want to start off with that the Switch has been pre-orderable. Or
Yes.
Yes,
And I
that's
heard
right.
it's been a disaster-ish.
Has
did
it?
either of you try last night?
No.
I did. Yeah, I got one.
I did as well. I'm assuming you got the Mario Kart bundle.
Nope, I'm gonna get the physical
Makes sense.
because I hate saving money.
True.
That's wild. That's
True.
so insane.
Look, did you see all this shit behind me? Like,
Yeah,
this
it's
should have
insane.
been the hint. That should have been the hint.
No.
I know it's a problem. I'm going to therapy, but
That is
that's besides the
ridiculous.
point.
Oh my gosh. I didn't.
But yeah,
okay.
no, I loaded up the Walmart app in the middle of stream and like was like, hey guys, I gotta go to break for a bit. I gotta try to get my Switch too. And I got it real smoothly actually. It only took like
Yeah, because everyone wanted the Mario Kart bundle, so no,
Yeah,
so
no,
you're the only one.
Wow. True. Wow.
play the
Okay.
long game, baby. Play the long game.
I obviously got the Mario Kart bundle, and then I also grabbed the Pro controller, which is $85 American.
Do you want to talk about the fucking prices for Switch 2 stuff?
I do, absolutely.
I found out today that when I looked on Amazon's page, like, so Mario Kart World is $110 Canadian,
Yeah.
which is insane, but whatever.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is 100, etc. Like that, they're very variable prices.
Yeah.
Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby and the Forgotten Land for Switch 2 with their DLC packs is $115. It is more expensive than Mario
That's
Kart
gross.
World to buy these two games, one of which is, I think, 5 years old now. Maybe 4. I don't remember how long Forgotten Land's been
Which
out.
one? Oh, Forgotten Land. I don't think it's 5 years, but it's like maybe 2 or 3.
It's at least a couple. I
Was
think
it
that came out
2022? Oh, was it
22 or
23?
23.
There's
one
no
of
way
those.
it came out 2020. That
No,
what is
no,
time
you're
if
right.
that's
You're right.
real?
You're right. There's no way it's 5 years. You're right.
Yeah.
But still, I'm saying it's a couple years old.
Yeah,
And
for
the
sure.
fact that
Absolutely.
they're offering it. Okay, so 22. I guess is confirmed.
Thank you.
Outrageous. And they like the fact that they're charging $5 more than their brand new flagship game is insane to me.
Yes.
And I found out. I found out they actually are charging more for the physical copy because the DLC is confirmed to be $30 Canadian. So in fact, and the game itself normally sells for 80, so it should be 110 like Mario Kart is, which is still way too much for it. But like for some reason they upped the price another $5 in Canada specifically because apparently in the US it's the same price as all the other games. It's not they're not more expensive. So
that's
for some
fucked.
reason here they're more expensive in Canada and I don't know why.
Wow.
I have people from other countries being like, yeah, no, it's cheaper here in like the UK, it's cheaper here in the States. And I checked a couple retailers, like it's listed the same thing on like Best Buy and Amazon. So I'm like, this is a decision they made. It's fucking stupid.
That's rough.
It's crazy times.
They're punishing you specifically for like wanting
me specifically,
like people like you that definitely want that version, right?
Me,
They're punishing
people like
you.
me with issues.
With issues.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to rebuy the games I already have. I'm just going to get
of
DLC.
course.
Like,
Yeah.
But like I'm just like blown away. Like it's already bad enough that they jumped the price $20 more than they did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Nintendo only started charging $90 for their games with Tears of the Kingdom. And now they're doing another $20 jump, which I think is insane.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting more expensive. Like, PlayStation got more expensive last week as well. We're in weird times with video games for sure.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have so many people just priced out of shit. Like,
absolutely.
Game Pass is looking better and better.
Picking up new games. Oh yeah, Game Pass is really, really looking good.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that the Nintendo has said like, hey, when the tariff stuff was happening and they reintroduced the price, we're not changing the price. Excuse me, they specifically called out for launch, we're not changing the price. So it could even go up in the relatively near future.
Which is also insane still.
Yeah.
Because they said the price point they decided on had nothing to do with the tariffs.
Yeah.
The tariffs did bump up all the prices of all the accessories. I think in the States they all went up like $10 or $15.
No, it was like 5 or 10, I think.
Was it 5? Well, okay.
The majority was 5.
Okay.
Anyway, to finish my thought earlier, I got the Pro Controller. I also got the Piranha Plant webcam.
Nice. There you go.
Fair,
I think that thing's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to expense all this.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Same here.
Or,
Same here.
Or I get to just cancel it because Nintendo sends me one. This is more of like a backup plan. But I kind of wanted to be a part of the absolute nonsense online last night, which was just stupid.
Yeah. I cannot believe that Piranha Plant camera is only 480p. Apparently that is the case.
Is it 4880p?
It's 480p. The normal camera is 1080. The normal camera is 1080, but apparently specifically the Piranha Plant is 480.
I didn't know that. This thing sucks so much. And it's ridiculous.
Dude, like I'm normally like I love Nintendo, but I'm like y'all doing weird decisions. This one is really hard to defend.
I literally was just like, hey, I'm not the one paying for this, and the social team will get a real kick out of me plugging this thing in. But 80, that's literally worse. That's literally worse than the Xbox Live Vision camera. Greatest video game based webcam of all time.
But hey, we got Discord now.
Yep. True.
Yeah, true. Yep. It's so weird. And then what's hilarious is if I end up not getting one sent to me ahead of time and I go along with my pre-order, it arrives the morning I fly to Summer Game Fest. So that's just gonna be like a very
so
busy
there's a
day for
chance you
me.
might just
Nice.
miss it too. Oh no,
I don't
dude.
think so, because I got the console from Walmart and they specifically were like guaranteed to deliver it by 9 a.m.
Okay.
So but it would really suck if I'm like, I gotta get on a train. This sucks, and then I just get the delivery notification while I'm like sitting in the airport. That would suck. Because you just know I'll be hanging out with like dozens of people, literally with one in their hands. So,
Yeah. No. Walmart told me it should be delivered by the 6th, which means it'll be a day after launch. So I'm like, well, I'm not streaming those days, so I guess I don't mind. But
Hmm.
it's just I
that would
wonder
annoy
how
me so much.
delayed it's gonna get.
That would be a hard day to go through for me, at least. The FOMO would be strong.
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's talk about some more new stuff. Apparently, there was a Blade Runner game being developed by Supermassive that was canceled. It was actually never announced. Supermassive, the developers behind Dark Pictures Anthology and The Quarry, but they were working on this and then it got canceled. This is a bummer because I like that studio quite a bit, and
Yeah.
Blade Runner's a cool IP.
That would have been awesome. Yep.
That would be good.
That would have been a very cool game to play through. I'm assuming it would have been another kind of choose your own adventure, and then in the Blade Runner universe, that would have been awesome.
I wish I had not known that was even going to be a thing. Just cancel in silence. Keep me ignorant.
Yeah, it's weird that they even announced it without it actually having any reveal.
Yeah.
Like, what's the logic there? Just to piss off people, so maybe they'll change their mind, or
Maybe.
I don't know, I'm kind of going through this story. Let's see. It was called Time to Live. It was a character-focused cinematic action adventure. So yeah, choose your own adventure. Where you were the only Blade Runner in 2065. The game would have been in 10 to 12 hours, single player. Oh, so maybe not the co-op. I guess that makes sense if you're the one Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
I guess these were just documents sent to Insider Gaming. So maybe someone on the team was like, "Man, fuck all this. I'm gonna leak it or something." Compelling story blending the philosophical themes of Blade Runner with kinetic action adventure gameplay. They began production in September 24. Pre-production was scheduled to end in March 25, with the prototype happening. So it wasn't going to come out until 2027. So they're still ways off, but
Yeah.
that's definitely a bummer.
Yep.
In more exciting news, Ghost of Yotai, the Ghost of Tsushima follow-up, got a release date of October 2nd.
Yep.
Cannot wait.
nice.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
stoked.
I'm so in.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, this next story is about Devolver. I thought this one was pretty interesting. Devolver, during one of their earnings reports, this last week, disclosed their top 10 most profitable IP and how much money each of them have made. And I just thought this was an interesting list to go through. At number 1 is Cult of the Lamb, which has made over $90 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is just like absolutely crazy to think of. I'll just go through the list here in order from most to least. Astroneer, over 80 million. Stronghold, over 50 million. Serious Sam, which I guess has 11 titles under Devolver.
I mean, it's a long series. It's been
Yeah.
out. They've been making a lot of Serious Sam games.
That's 45 million.
Yeah.
It just says Gungeon.
Yeah.
The enter
Well, because
the
there's
Gungeon.
Enter, Exit, and 2 now. So
Yeah.
And 2, yeah. Which is over 40 million. Shadow Warrior, over 35 million. Hotline Miami, over 30 million. The Talos Principle, over 20 million. Reigns, which I just like it that Reigns is doing okay.
Yeah.
Over 20 million. And Gorn, which is over 20 million.
Yeah. I read this list last night. It made a lot of sense why they keep making some games that, like, Serious Sam to me was like kind of a fun little side thing back when it first came out, but every time they release a new one, I'm like, who gives a shit? But apparently they do, because it makes them
Sam games
money.
are actually still really good. I heard that the most recent proper shooting Sam games have been excellent.
They did a bunch of 2D ones too, right? A couple of them.
That wasn't Crow Team. That was other teams just took the IP, because there's the Serious Sam RPG. There's the weird Double D or whatever it's called, where you they duct tape guns together, and it's this weird puppet marionette style. There's a ton of spin-off Serious Sam games, but the core ones are still considered pretty good.
I'll read this
not
other
bad
little
for a
section.
budget series from when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I'll read this other little section here. Devolver's current release schedule for 2025 and beyond includes Baby Steps, Enter the Gungeon 2, Skate Story, Tenjutsu, Horse Strike, Monster Train 2, and Star Seeker Astroneer Expeditions. There's a lot of games on there I'm very excited for.
I forgot Tenjutsu was them, and Force Strike. Those are both gonna be real good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that Cult of the Lamb number is ridiculous.
It's crazy. Yep.
Yeah. For one game that has paid DLC.
Yep.
DLC, yep. Okay, the next news story was just, hey, Oblivion Shadow dropped. Paul, I'm surprised you didn't play any of it this week.
I did play it.
Okay.
But like, hey, guess what? Oblivion, it's that and it looks good.
It's still the same game.
Yep.
I understand they kept like the same code, so the ways it's broken are still there, which seems
That's
like a good
hilarious.
call. Also, it allows all the mods to still work.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Yep.
That's the right way.
All right, these last two are there's a through line to them, but we'll start with one. This actually just happened while we were recording. Is that here's the headline: Sydney Sweeney to star in split fiction film adaptation from director John Chu, Deadpool and Wolverine writers.
That makes sense.
What?
So I guess Sydney Sweeney will be one of the two girls in
Yeah.
the split fiction movie. And then the through line is Sydney Sweeney. This is a weirder one. I'll read the headline. Michael Bay is making an Outrun movie with Sydney Sweeney to produce.
Let's go.
Wait, to
Question
produce?
mark?
She's a producer on it, so
Oh, okay,
who knows if she
interesting.
will be in there. All right, what are your guys' thoughts? Outrun movie.
They're gonna turn it into a crime movie. They're gonna turn it into a heist movie where it's like you have to like outrun like the mafia or something like that.
I mean, Outrun is there's so nothing to it. It's like, does it have cars in it? Okay. Then that also makes you wonder,
Outrun
like,
is, I think you're part of a Grand Prix. I think that's literally it. You're in some sort of Grand Prix, and like the later Outruns fleshed it out a little bit, but I wouldn't say they ever had a story.
I get this IP. Who's talking about Outrun these days?
Apparently, Sega has just been offering up their IPs for movies because of the success of the Sonic movies.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So this is not the only Sega IP that you could see getting a movie.
Yeah. Do you think this happens? Do you think we see an Outrun movie?
We saw a Tetris movie, so why not at this point?
It's true, but that wasn't even like the first Tetris movie that they were supposed to be making. That was a different
True.
Tetris movie.
And we never did get the Metal Gear Solid movie. And
I think the split fiction one would probably happen, although It Takes Two hasn't even come out yet, and they announced that a long
Until
time ago.
Dawn is in theaters now, right? Or is it coming
Tomorrow.
soon?
I think it's
I'm
tomorrow,
I'm seeing
actually.
commercials for it.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. I actually got invited to a pre-screening of it, of which I said, I'm too scared, but keep me in mind for future opportunities.
Fair enough. I'm too scared. Did you actually say that, or were you just like, nah, no, thank you?
I said that to my coworkers, and I told them
Okay.
about it. But in the email, I said, "I'm going to pass, but please keep me in mind for future
Okay.
opportunities."
I just thought it would be
Okay,
funny if
that's
you
fair.
actually told them I'm too scared.
Because I don't want them
I
to
would have
think.
respected it. I would have
Well,
respected
me
I
too.
want them to offer every opportunity for me. I don't want them to think like, "Oh, I'm not going to send this his way because I know he might be too scared." I want everything to come into my inbox, and I'll be the one
course.
to decide if I'm going or not. So
Yeah, of course. Makes sense.
that's how you network.
Yes. You never say no.
All right. That's it for news. Let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDB Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, or Claire's P.O. Box. And then you can sound like Rasterman, who writes, what's the first game you've beaten? Since the concept of beating a game can be open to interpretation, let's say beating is the final boss, completing the main objective, completing a campaign, completing all the main levels, or something along those lines.
Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros. Yeah.
I have no idea. Maybe Pokemon Blue?
Okay.
Maybe Pokemon Blue.
Okay. Nice. Suku writes, what video game has the best horses?
Barbie Horse Adventure.
Okay. I mean, I believe you.
Reese is playing this horse MMO right now, which I can never remember the name. It's like Star Stable or something like that. And she's been going crazy. She's like, they have every horse breed you can think of. They're all authentic and look correct to the actual way they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna say it's Star Stable actually.
Yes, all those horse breeds that I can think of. Good. Perfect.
I didn't know about horse breeds. I was like sure, like I know a thoroughbred, and she's like, no, here's like this one. I'm like,
Wait,
that's like
is thoroughbred a
100.
breed, or is that like a way to
It's
breed?
a quality, yeah. It's like a
Okay.
quality of horse.
Makes sense, yeah.
Isn't there a video game coming out called Horses? Yeah, Horses the horror game. I saw this
What?
at GDC last year. You can go to horses.wtf. This game looks hilarious, but also like eerie as fuck.
I have seen this trailer. Okay, that's right. They showed this at something.
I'm sure
I forgot all about this.
I'm gonna say this has the best horses in it. Is Yoshi a horse?
No.
He's a dinosaur, but
He's a tool.
qualifies.
Sure, he's a dinosaur. He's a tool.
Yeah, he's a tool to be used.
Sure.
Sorry, now I'm watching the horses trailer. I know I'm supposed to read the next question.
Good trailer, right?
They just spooned some food and there's a naked dude pushing a plow. I'm gonna move on with my life now. Ace Fire says, "What is the best entree or food experience you remember having while traveling? I think I remember Sean mentioning a really good sandwich in Spain, but maybe that has changed."
That sandwich does rock. I went and I got it 3 times when I was there in January for 2 nights. 2 nights, got it 3 times. I'm trying to think if there's anything else though.
I feel so basic because I was like, "Oh, Firehouse subs and Jersey Mike subs. I've never had these before."
Ooh,
From the
yeah.
States down
yeah,
here.
just from the States. Because like I've got okay. You know what? The actual answer is real Jamaican jerk chicken.
Sure.
There you
Actual
go.
Jamaican jerk chicken is fucking delicious.
I had some great sushi when I was in Japan.
Yeah, Japan. Great sushi there. I don't usually like nopales, but I had some in Mexico and they're fucking delicious. I don't know what
I don't even
the
know what that
difference
is.
was.
What is that?
It is cactus, essentially.
Oh, okay. I'm not a big cactus fan when I have had it. I had great tacos when I was in Tijuana. Those were very good.
Okay, sure. I went to like one of those mom and pop places that the locals recommended in Chicago. They had a really good sub there. I don't remember the name of it, but that was very good. I wish I remembered the name.
BGC Kenny writes, I recently watched a YouTube video where the bit of the sketch was that IGN is a bad review site. His whole point is to be contrarian. Now, I will say dunking on IGN is valid, but how do you know if someone is being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian instead of genuinely holding an opinion that is contrary to the general consensus? How can you tell?
From one thing,
the
you
easiest way to
can't.
tell is usually the only way really to tell is to kind of keep hounding them on it and get an actual answer. But that can just make them kind of dig their heels in even more, and then it just becomes them being contrarian for contrarian's sake. So
I'm gonna say like anyone doing this for their job, such as IGN, they're not doing this to be contrarian. Like this is what they actually think. Like there are so few like games journalism jobs. Nobody's just goofing around at this point. They're like
maybe
so,
being
yeah.
contrarian gets clicks though.
yeah, I think what it is,
they're not doing it.
I think what it is that IGN sometimes, or at least in the past, had a habit of putting people who don't like specific genres of games into that game review.
They're just making them do them.
And that usually led to bad grades, which led to pissing off viewers, which led to more clicks. And that is the closest I could say that they're actually doing something contrarian. And even then, that's a stretch. Because I'm sure they were probably like low staffs, like, hey, we need someone to review this long 100-hour JRPG. Can the sports guy do it because we have no one else?
Yeah, and I obviously cannot speak for IGN. I'm not in their, we do work for the same company, but I'm not in their like meetings, for example. But like at the media sites I've worked for, nobody's doing this. Nobody's even having the conversation. Why don't we just say it's bad to get some clicks? That does not happen ever. I assure you. And I can't imagine IGN's doing that, or like anyone would have like the time to do that at this point when, like job stability in these industries is ridiculous at this point. So, and even to your point, if they're putting someone who might not be like you said, maybe they're putting the sports guy to do it, that's still like a valid opinion.
Well,
it is still valid. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like people always just look at the number before they read the actual review. So if you see like let's say the latest Xenoblade. If you see the latest Xenoblade come out and it's got a 5 out of 10 on IGN, but you know everyone else is reviewing it high and it's just because the sports guy is on it, you're gonna be upset.
I guess my whole thing is who gives a shit
your-
what their opinion is anyway, even if they are being contrarian.
You would be surprised how many people
No,
do.
I know.
Yeah,
like, way too many people
I was
care.
kind of leaning down on that as well. Like, why would you be upset that someone else didn't like this game? Like, it has nothing to do with you.
So I'm gonna tell you the logic that most of these people use, and it is the fact that because I've been in these shoes when I saw God Hand get like a 3 out of 10.
Sure.
Back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Reviews will dictate people buying the game. People do not like buying games that are like 6 out of 10 and below.
That's true.
Traditionally, because especially nowadays with games being so expensive. So traditionally, a lot of people see like a bad review as, oh no, this game I'm looking forward to is going to sell less because people are shitting on it, or one specific well-known group is shitting on it. So that is the logic a lot of people use.
I mean, is it so much like it's not going to sell enough? And I feel so strongly that this.
No, it's
studio gets to keep
validation. They want to be validated
or
in
is
their
it more
opinion.
so like I just spent
Validation and wanting a
$70
sequel.
on this game? I want to feel good about my purchase, and now
Yes.
you're making me feel bad about.
Some people do this even before they even buy the game. It's just a pre-order, like, and they'll get upset about it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's that's why Steam implemented like you can't review this unless you have played a certain amount of this game, because that's review bombing, right?
Yeah,
which makes no so. But then you get on the other side, you get tons of reviews. Like I see people posting these on like Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever, where it's like, there's like nothing to do really in this game. I put 100 hours into it, and like now there's like there's nothing left. And I think I saw this most recently with Monster Hunter Wilds. They're like, man, after like 130 hours, it's like there's just nothing. This game is awful. What are we doing here, people? And it's like, what? What are you talking about?
It's a weirdly like, if you're not in, it looks stupid, but it's a weirdly valid complaint because a Monster Hunter game you're expecting like 300 to 500 hours easy, like right from the get-go. But you get there eventually when they add more shit. People just need to chill out. People always forget that like all those other games added shit later. Like, I don't know. 100 hours is still 100 hours, and I think
but you gotta keep in mind,
forget.
especially with some companies, if the game doesn't sell well at launch, they're gonna lower their DLC plans.
Exactly. Yep.
Or you could be like Nintendo and keep releasing sports games that people are super excited about, and with like bare minimum stuff, and then add things half a year later when it's too late and no one's playing it anymore.
Yep.
Again, though,
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
If we're looking at the like, is IGN being contrarian? Like, if even the studios or the publishers thought this was actually happening, they would not send IGN the game, and that's not happening.
1000%.
So, like, I can assure you, nobody has this like backhand agenda where they're like, well, if they make it a low score, it'll bring people in. It's not happening. Nobody's working like that.
Sure.
Everyone's
I mean,
just
I
trying
believe
to like
it.
do a job at this point. Like they can't afford not to.
I believe it, but also, like I said, who gives a shit? Let them be contrarian if they are. Like,
I mean, that's the other thing is like you cannot take this personally because it's literally not. There's no way you can even argue that it is. There's nothing for you to grab. To point to saying this has anything to do with me.
Yes, exactly. That's why this whole like, how do you know if someone's being contrarian? It's like I don't fucking care. Like, what do I care if they're being contrarian?
If anything, like, do they have a good reason? Like, read the review. Why? What did they call out?
So
and
that
you can
is
then have a discussion.
That is the way you find out if they are quote unquote being contrarian, is they can't back up any of their opinion with anything.
Yeah.
Good or bad. Like they just don't know or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Dad writes, which TDP host has put the most different condiments on bread over their entire lifetime?
It ain't me, because I almost always use butter.
Most different condiments.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like
butter.
specifically do this.
Jams,
like,
jam's great. Actually, you know what? Maybe jam, because of jams, I might be up there.
Jams are good. Yeah.
Yeah, because my family used to pick like strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. So like I've had all those jams on bread and toast.
I'm just wondering if just by default I've just had more breads with different stuff on them as being more adventurous.
Also that.
But you're pretty adventurous too.
Oh, I'll eat anything. So, like, if you're adventurous in that you travel, but, like, I'll eat whatever. I've had a lot of different food.
Right, yeah. Yeah. And, like, I am definitely adventurous while I'm traveling, but it's not like you guys don't have access to plenty of different foods there. So I just don't know. I'm not, like,
Yeah.
going out of my way to be like, "Here's condiment number 36. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try it," and
You don't have your condiment tracker out?
come to my TikTok where I'll review condiment number 36 on this piece of bread. This week,
Yeah.
it's Dijon mustard.
You
How
joke.
have I not done
I
this
bet
one
you
yet?
there's a channel like that. 100%.
I'm sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Rule 34 would imply there's also porn of that somewhere, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
whose turn is it?
It's mine.
Okay.
Phantom Magus writes in and says, "Ahoy, TDB crew. What genre in media is your least favorite?" I'm
Or
not big on documentaries, I guess.
okay. Even if it's a documentary about something you like?
See, like I said, it depends because like
Mhm.
sometimes I find that fascinating, but like it also depends on like the delivery because I've watched so many dry documentaries.
I don't know if
Sure.
it's.
I mean, yeah, it is definitely like a delivery method, but I'm just like,
Mm.
I would just wonder if like for example, like I think of like video game documentaries, Psych Odyssey. I think you would enjoy, for
Yeah,
example.
probably. Yeah, I think
Or
it
anything from
depends because
Notebook.
like the other answer I have is like romance films.
Mm,
Don't care,
Okay.
but I'm sure there's some like I like rom-coms. Like those can be funny at times. So like it's
Sure.
like a balance thing.
yeah. I don't think it's a genre, but I don't like period pieces generally. Like, if the only thing you have going for you is that you, like, are recreating Victorian whatever, I don't give a shit about your thing. You have to have something else.
How
I
could you
agree.
do
I
the
don't think I would
Victorian
call
medicine
that.
woman?
I don't know if it's a genre. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my issue.
I think that like it's a setting
It's a
for
set.
sure.
It's like
Because
a
then
theme.
you know you
I
can
don't
have
know.
like you can have like a horror movie set in
Yeah.
Victorian England or whatever. Blah blah blah.
Genre and media.
All right, last question from Hebrew Lantern. What are some of your favorite midnight launches you've been to? Some of my favorite memories are being in line behind some Rooster Teeth people at the Switch launch. I lived near their offices at the time, and going to the Destiny midnight launch and being the only one to get NHL 15.
That's pretty great. Yeah, that's
I
good.
love doing little bits like that too. That's always fun.
Yeah.
I think I did that. I haven't gone to very many midnight ones. I went to one when we worked
mean-
at the store.
Yeah, we worked at the Modern Warfare 2 one.
Is that what it was?
Were you on that one? Because I know it was
No,
me.
I don't think I ever worked one actually, but I did go
Okay.
there with a friend, and like there was a few of us. We went and got like McDonald's afterwards.
I think
Can't remember.
I think you came to the Halo Wars one.
We did a midnight launch for Halo Wars.
I think we did, and I don't know. It's been a long time. I remember
Yeah,
Modern
I don't
Warfare
remember
2.
what came out.
There was
I want to say it
one
was like
year.
a new.
There was one
I
year
wanna
there was
say
like
it's like a
2 games that came
StarCraft.
out, and like one of them was a hockey game, and I don't remember what the other one was.
I picked up something else though, just because it was the same day. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't remember what it was. And then yeah, we went and got like McFlurries or something from the McDonald's.
The Modern Warfare one I remember being kind of fun because we were playing around with like one of the collector's editions in the back, and like that was when they had the night vision goggles as
Night
the big
vision,
thing.
sure. Yeah.
And that was basically just a web is like a camcorder with night vision enabled, duct taped to your head, so your perspective and balance is way off.
Yep.
And then we had like some people. We set up like one of the kiosks to like point out towards the street, and then people could play Modern Warfare while they were waiting for launch
nice.
to come. So that was fun.
Surprised nobody tried to steal it. Honestly.
I think the controllers had to be like hardwired or something. I forget what the deal was that we made for it to pull it off.
I remember hearing about someone trying to steal an entire Rock Band box one time.
Yeah, it was Band Hero. Yeah, I was
Was
working
it
that
Band
shift.
Hero? Okay.
So I was the only one on shift because I was ASM at the
Oh
time.
no, Dan. Because what I heard is Dan chased after the guy.
Yes, this is it because he wasn't in yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was the one working the store, and then someone just walked to the back of the store, picked up a Band Hero box, got in line, and then left the line and went to the door. But that was as one of our staff members was coming in, so he chased them down, and the dude threw the Band Hero box at him to try to actually get to stop him. It was insane. So our regional manager comes in, and he's like, "You're gonna have to start taping these down to the floor now if you want to actually."
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't hear about that
Did you
one.
not know about that? Yeah, we had to use packing tape to tape them to the floor so people couldn't just steal them.
It
was nuts.
It is nuts. I have more midnight launches for movies. Ones that come to mind are Fast 5 was coming out, so me and my friend watched all 4 of the ones that had come out, which was not easy because like 2's not great, but then 3's happening and you're like, hell yeah. And then 4's not great, and you're pretty tired of fast cars at that point. But then we got to Fast 5, and that's one of the best Fast and Furious movies, so that was just incredible. That was so fun. And then whatever it was either the 4th or the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. My friend got like free tickets to the midnight showing. This was after a shift. I was working at Best Buy. It was during the summer in college. So I got off shift at like 10. And we were in the first row, the front row, and I fell asleep. Because that movie's not good.
Yeah. I've fallen asleep in movies before. Well, one, Gothica, back in the day. That movie sucks.
The last Lord of the Rings movie I fell asleep during.
Whoa, holy shit.
Yeah.
All any midnight things for you?
Anytime there was a World of Warcraft expansion, because that community, like, people bond over an MMO, so waiting in line and stuff was more fun than the actual anything else. And then after that, you would go home and wait for it to install, but you'd still be chatting with your friends and stuff. It was a good time.
Nice. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you want to send in questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, Claire's P.O. Box. What are your games of the week? Mine is Clair Obscur.
I'll get it eventually once I find a physical copy. I'll see Mortal Kombat 1 because I play that one more.
Say Crime Scene Cleaner. I was really impressed with that game. It's fun.
Okay. All right. Thanks, people. We will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.